I opened up the mics.
Okay, so we're just gonna do the wait for the anthem.
No, nobody's doing scoreboard. It's broken.
I got it right here.
I still like the ideas. Someone holds a giant card.
Samuel's all over that. Everybody, it blames Jamie.
I think it's funny that all of you just went.
Is the GoPro on? Hey, is the GoPro on here? Because I don't see a red light. I'm just going to take this off because it's probably get everything upside.
It's annoying wearing those things for hours.
You just turned it off. They're going to turn it back on once they...
I got you.
Got it.
Nice catch, Dan.
Because that was just the lens cap.
I was expecting him to drop it and he just clicked it. It's like, oh, got it now.
That's why you have to have quick adjustments in the hands. I haven't even done introductions yet.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go quicker than this.
4 minutes of game time.
Stop drop. Looks like we're ready.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Cinco de Mayo. Welcome to Donna Lee Withington Memorial Softball Field on the campus of Fitchburg State for this afternoon's MASCAC opening round matchup between the Vikings of Salem State and your Fitchburg State Falcons. The Vikings enter this afternoon's contest with an overall record of 11-21 and a 6-8 mark in the MASCAC, while the Falcons are 19-17 and 7-7 in the conference. And now, let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Vikings. Batting first, playing first base, number 11, Jen Crovo. Batting second, playing center field, number 4, Jess Raymond. Batting third, playing second base, number 16, Rebecca Krigman. Batting fourth, playing right field, number 5, Chloe Manusos. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 17, Gabriana Cardenas. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, number 21, Marissa Sanchez. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 27, Dalia de Calagero. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 6, Marissa Perry. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 13, Desiree Marino. And on the mound, number 24, Eilish Burney. The head coach for Salem in her 10th season is Leanne Harris. She is assisted by Caitlin Doherty, Melissa Passati, and Mandy Coriel.
And now, the starting lineups for your Fitchburg State Falcons.
Senior from Everett, Mass, number 3, Corey Cyrus. Senior from Leominster, Massachusetts, number 1, Marissa Gemma.
Junior from Malden, Massachusetts, number 14, Jessalyn Brown. Sophomore from Windham, New Hampshire, number 20, Emily Conklin.
Junior from Bedford, Massachusetts, number 10,
Katie Gilday.
Senior from Everett, Mass. Number 15, Brianna Yuga.
Junior from Concord, Massachusetts. Number 7, Galen Kerr.
Freshman from Pelham, New Hampshire. Number 11, Maddie Medina.
Freshman from Ashburnham, Massachusetts. Number 16, Michelle LeBlanc.
Junior from Attleboro, Massachusetts. Number 9, Kelsey LeBlanc.
The head coach of Fitchburg State in her 4th season is Mary McDonald. She is assisted by Carrie Alcott, Nicole Dupuis, and Tara Witzgall.
It just cuts straight over here. Now it's your cue.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please rise, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
I'm sorry, we actually went live there. Good afternoon. We are here at the Donna Lee Winnington Memorial Field for this first round matchup between your Fitchburg State Falcons and the Salem State Vikings. Fitchburg coming into this game at 500 in the conference. 5-7 Salem comes in the conference. 19-17 overall Fitchburg State. 11-21 is Salem State, but records don't matter here as this is a playoff game. Our scoreboard actually isn't currently working, so I'll be doing the counts. Well, Dan will be joining me.
Actually, we do have a scoreboard up here.
Well, we do have a scoreboard for you guys, but as I mentioned,
for those on the those watching on the archive, we do have a scoreboard. For those audio, well, you have the live stats to go off of.
In case you missed it, that was Dan. Dan will be joining me today. My name's Matt Carroll. I will be joined by Amy Kelly as well. Fitchburg will get our starting lineups in a couple moments. We'll start off with Fitchburg's starting lineup. Batting first will be Cyrus playing third base. Playing second and batting second will be Gemma. Brown doing the playing first base for the Falcons. She'll be batting third. Contois behind the plate, batting fourth. Gilday will be the DP today. She will not be playing in the field. Yuga will be in left. She will be batting sixth. Seventh is Kerr. She'll be on the hill today. Medina will be playing the shortstop. She'll be batting eighth. And LeBlanc out in right field. She will be batting ninth. And in the flex is Kelsey LeBlanc. Dan, do you want to give us Salem State starting lineup?
All right, so for the Vikings, Jen Crovo will lead off. She's batting out of the first base slot. Jess Raymond in center bats second. Rebecca Krigman is at second. She'll bat third. Chloe Manuso is batting cleanup. She'll be in right field. Batting fifth will be Gabriana Cardenas,
Leading off
designated
the
player.
Vikings, number 11, Jen
Versus
Provo.
Sanchez will be playing short, batting 6th. Dalia DiCugliero at 3rd, bats 7th. Marissa Perry, left fielder, bats 7th. I think I've skipped someone in there, but nonetheless, just get on with that. Yeah, I've lost my count on this, sorry. Marissa Perry in left field. Desiree Moreno is catching, and Alicia Burney is in the circle for the Vikings.
Crovo up to the plate for Salem. What are some of the keys here today, Amy?
From last game, I mean, both teams definitely played well. Like, as far as just communication, so that they don't make errors. I think that's just the key. And yeah, like working as a team is the most important thing.
Carvo grounds it back to the pitcher, Kerr, and she is able to record the out for the Falcons. Kerr coming into this matchup with a 2.54 ERA, so really good ERA for Kerr. Great season. She's looking very, very, very solid. That first pitch to Raymond is in there for a strike. So a good start for Kerr, getting out number 1, getting ahead in the count versus Raymond. Second pitch, almost identical. Count 0-2.
Raymond, the best hitter on this Viking team, batting .404 coming into today.
She swings and misses, and she goes down on a swinging strike. So Kerr with her first K of the ball game.
Now at bat, number 16, Rebecca Krigman.
Yeah, Kerr's been pitching really well for us this season.
Kriegman comes to the plate for the Vikings, batting .283 on the year.
She fouls that first one off.
1 home run, 16 runs batted in for her.
Krigman had quite the game last time versus the Falcons as she was on fire. Probably the reason why she's moved up here, up in the order for Salem, batting number 3, the second baseman.
It's worth pointing out these two teams faced each other just 5 days ago.
Swing and a miss there. Krigman trying to get a hold of that pitch, was not able to. Count 0-2.
Krigman, senior from Malden, wants to play again tomorrow.
That pitch is high, out of the zone.
Yeah.
I believe the first pitch Kerr threw was a ball, but then after that was able to rack off 7 strikes in a row.
Yeah, that's right. She's really zoned in here after that first pitch, and the umpire calls that dead if that bounces off Krigman.
Yep.
Foul ball.
Yep, just went off the heel of her foot as she was standing in the batter's box. But she'll be all right. 1-2 the count. 2 down here in the top of the first.
Pitch from Kerr, and that's swung on and hit to Gemma, the second baseman. Gemma fields it and retires the Vikings in this top half of the first inning. Gemma losing a little bit of handle on that, was able to stay in front of it and throw out Krigman.
That was a good inning, really quick. Falcons didn't really make any errors there.
Just 11 pitches required from Galen Kerr to get through that inning. Very efficient.
Yeah, they're ready to go. They want to win this game. It's the playoffs, right?
Absolutely. The winner of this game will get Worcester tomorrow in the quarterfinals of the. Well, actually, it'll be the first round of the double elimination phase. But the loser of this game, here in this single elimination setup, they'll be kicked, and their season will come to an end.
Yeah, that's the last thing the Falcons want right now. They want to.
The pressure is on today.
Yeah, it really is. These seniors, Cyrus, Gemma, and Yuga, they want to go out on a good note here in the playoffs, especially actually Cyrus coming back for another season, but still technically a senior, and these guys want to it's been a great season for them, one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. So hopefully they can get it done here and get off to a quick start. They got off to a quick start last time versus Salem. Like Dan said, 5 days ago they played, and Fitchburg pretty much owned them in my opinion.
They scored most of their runs in the same inning though, so it should be interesting. It's really anybody's game, but yeah, they just went on like a streak in one of the innings, so they could really do that at any moment. Like, once they're feeling it, they really go off.
And one thing to point out for Salem in their pitching, Alicia Burney is on the mound for the Vikings. She has 30 strikeouts in 103 innings. The Vikings starved for strikeouts. Opposing teams know how to put the ball in play against this pitching crew.
Yeah, they really do. And just looking at that stat that Dan mentioned, that's just one thing the Falcons, they need to get on that, and they need to get on it quick. Cyrus actually moving up in the box, maybe an indication that she has a little bit less velocity than most pitches.
It is interesting that Cyrus is leading off. Normally it is Gemma who leads off. Ground ball to the shortstop, throws it across the diamond, gets the out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Salem State.
Actually, Dan, if I'm not mistaken, the last few games I've seen Cyrus lead off over Gemma. I don't know if you've commentated the last few games with us, but they have switched up the lineup a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it. I've been away for a little while.
Yeah. They made that move a couple games ago, I believe, versus Nichols. It's Gemma now stepping into the plate as Cyrus grounds out for the first out in the bottom half of the first inning, and that's going to get in there for a base hit just over the shortstop's head. It looks like it was Sanchez.
Yeah,
Gemma back to first.
Looked like they didn't know, they didn't really communicate with each other there, Salem. They didn't know who was going to catch it, so it kind of just fell in between all of them.
That ball just fell into no man's land. Perfect bloop shot.
Yep, a hitter's best friend and a pitcher's worst enemy. A lot of people call it the cheap way of hitting, but it really isn't. It's actually a perfectly placed ball, and that just got in there. And Gemma's had a few of those her last few at-bats. As Brown now stepping up to the plate.
Team leading 40th hit of the season for Gemma. Greatly enhances her .320 batting average. See what Jesselyn Brown does here. She does take the first pitch for a strike. That's actually a first pitch taken thus far because both Gemma and Cyrus swung at the first pitch and put it in play.
Yeah, Falcons coming out very aggressive here as we see the set now and the pitch. And that swung on, and it's a high pitch, but it's hit into right field.
It's no good.
And the play is made by the right fielder, and
she drops it?
Nope, that was caught, and she tried to get Gemma at first, and it looked like the umpire banged her safe, or her foot may have been off the bag.
Her foot was, the first baseman's foot was off the bag there, and she had trouble controlling the ball as well. So she never had clean control. Gemma safe at first, but Brown is out on the fly ball to right field. 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Carbo playing third base, just having her foot come off a little bit. That could have been nice, really, really nice for Salem. But the right fielder able to make the play for Salem. It was one of those plays where she was playing kind of shallow. She was able to make that play as Comtois fouls that first one off and is down the count 0-1.
No score in the bottom of the first. This MASCAC opening round matchup between Fitchburg and Salem. The Falcons the 4 seed, the Vikings the 5 seed.
Middle of the pack here, one of these big games for the Falcons if they can just move on. And that pitch is swung on and hit into left field, and it is fair, but it will be caught by Salem, the left fielder. Perry out there making the play and retiring the Falcons, and Falcons getting some base runners there, but not able to capitalize, or a base runner there, not able to capitalize, though, as Salem is able to retire the Falcons as we move to the top of the second inning. Your Fitchburg State Falcons 0 and the Salem State Vikings 0 as well.
I'm not going to ever blame you for anything.
So what are some of the things that need to be done, Amy, here after watching that first inning, just trying to get the butterflies out, it looks like?
Yeah,
I didn't expect anyone to actually use
just
this
hitting the ball, like you said last game, they got to be aggressive with it, and as far as stealing goes, I think, and maybe a few bunts would be nice. Anything to switch things up, trick the other team, but
only I had more time.
Yeah, and the same with Salem. Salem's struggling there too.
It just
they need to hit more. But as far as the field goes, I don't really think that either team's really making that many errors out in the field. I think they're both doing an excellent job because they know that they can't really afford that right now.
Yeah, we also got some weather changes here from the last time these two teams played. Last time was very, very nice. The sun was out. It's a little rainy here for this playoff matchup. Not the ideal situation for the Falcons or the Vikings, but it's just something you're going to have to deal with. And we are out here playing.
It's a little bit cold.
we are out here playing, and the field crew did a great job getting the field ready, and nothing really you can do about that but just play the game.
Yep, dreary, cold, a bit breezy. That's what the weather's been like all week here in Fitchburg.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember looking at the. I'm sorry. I remember looking at the weather on Sunday and just seeing chance of rain every single day, and it's going to be, as long as the weather holds up well enough to get the playoffs in for baseball and softball, considering it's all these games compressed into 4 days.
Just a reminder, Dan just said that baseball is playing today. They are playing Framingham State. They will be playing. Actually, they're in action right now. They started an hour before this game, so we'll probably get some updates on that. We're going to start here at the top of the second inning. That pitch is in there for a ball.
This is Chloe Manus, who's at the plate now for the Manusos, excuse me. 333 average on the year in 27 games.
That's swung on and hit just past Gemma, and that's going to get in there for, I'm not sure if they're going to mark that an error or a base hit.
Well, it's actually my call, so.
Your call, Dan.
What do you think? Let's see. It looked like she just didn't get her glove on it. I think
it was a routine play. It looked like a little bit towards the center of the infield there, but just a bit to Gemma's right. I would mark that probably as an error on that.
I think it was. I do think it was playable. So she just didn't get her glove over well enough. It slightly glanced off of it. So it'll be E4, and that's the first base runner of the game for Salem State.
Cardenas now up at the plate as Salem has their first base runner, as Dan said, and there's a bunt. Cyrus fields as she goes over the first. Gemma covering, and it goes right off Gemma's glove.
It looks like she went to third.
Moving over to third on the play is going to be Manusos, as the throw was high, but it wasn't out of Gemma's reach, but it pops off of her glove.
Yeah, I think the senior just needs a short memory here, and she'll bounce back. I have no doubt. But runners on the corners for Salem.
I don't know. I think the weather could be affecting like the way they're playing too. Like, I don't know. It's not an excuse, but like it could be like slippery or something. The ball, or you don't know.
That throw was a little high, but again, just going off Gemma's glove. Sanchez now at the plate for Salem as we get a quick timeout in the action here, as coaches will discuss things for Salem. And the Vikings.
I was going to think we have to charge an error on that.
Yeah. I don't think on the throw necessarily.
Yeah, I think it was just a matter. I mean, reaching up takes a little bit of effort, but I don't think it was a unnecessarily high throw.
Correct. It was in well vision. It was a rocket by Cyrus. Cyrus really got a strong arm over there at third base, and that's just one of the things about moving over and having to make those plays at first base. Gemma did a great job. She's done a great job all season covering first, but it's just tough sometimes. But just got to bounce back strong here and be able to get out of this inning with no runs. Is that pitch to Sanchez is in there for a ball. So rough start so far for the Falcons. Kerr down the count 0-1. She sets, she deals, and that pitch is high.
They'll bring the count to 2-0. So it's a tough start of the inning here for the Falcons, as it's Manusos at third, Cardenas at first, Sanchez at the plate. None down.
No outs. Pitch is in there for a strike. Great spot for Kerr. So count now 2-1.
Sanchez batting left-handed. Thought about a bunt for a moment. Takes it on the outside corner for a strike. 2-2 the count.
Looked like she didn't like that one, Dan. Count now even, as you mentioned, but she kind of questioning that call from the umpire.
Definitely looked like if it caught the corner, it just clipped it.
Oh, no doubt. And that's swung on and fouled. Just slapped, just staying alive is Sanchez. That was just a quick slap, like I said, right to the Fitchburg State dugout. So Sanchez protecting here, the shortstop for the Vikings. Even if the Vikings could just come up with a double play, I know it's hard in softball. Even if they give up the run, they just need to get outs and get out of this inning. That pitch is just outside. Count now full.
It's the right height And the vertical axis just a little off in the horizontal.
That's right. The umpire liking that outside zone, and that's what Kerr was probably trying to establish on that. And that swung on and fouled just beyond the Fitchburg State dugout.
I think this is going to be the 7th or 8th pitch of this at-bat.
Yeah, Sanchez really digging in deep here and making Kerr throw, which is something you want to do against pitchers, even in softball. Swung on again and fouled off, so we're going on to our 8th pitch, I believe, here, Dan.
Something like that. I'm just trying to remember what the count is myself. I mean, I only have the total pitch count on my screen.
Same here. We're having a little bit of trouble here. Sorry, folks. As I said before, the scoreboard is out here at the field. Kerr's full count pitch is in there. Strike 3, outside corner. She slows it. She slows it down a bit on that pitch and gets Sanchez, which is a huge strikeout for Kerr.
Now at bat, number 27.
That's the
Dalia
first
de
out
Oliguero.
here in the top of the 2nd inning.
That was a big out by Kerr to go to the off-speed pitch there on 3-2.
Risky. That first pitch in there is a call for a strike.
Was it a strike? I think it was a ball. Was it?
What was that?
Is that last pitch a strike? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Deb.
it was.
Oh.
Second pitch is in there. Swing and a miss.
So 0-2?
Now the double play won't hurt so much, but it's still going to be difficult to turn. Maybe the Falcons can get another strikeout. They've got DeColigiero down 0-2. And she struck out 23 times this year. Make it 24!
Swing and a miss.
Strikeout number 4 for Galen Kerr.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Kerr. Trying to get out of this jam. Now 2 down.
Yeah.
Now at bat, number 6, Marissa Perry.
Perry coming up to the plate for the Vikings. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from her. She comes in with a 269 average for the Vikings.
Perry only in her 17th game this year, playing a little more than half the schedule.
That second pitch is in there for a ball. Yeah, Dan, that's got to be quite difficult coming off the bench. This must be a new thing for her, this playoff baseball.
Yeah, for Perry, it's also only her 9th start of the season. Fouls this one off. 1-2 the count.
This is huge, Dan. Getting out of this inning would be big. 2 back-to-back Ks from Kerr. Kerr really digging in. You know, she didn't even need a ground ball or fly out. She's really digged in here and done it on her own.
Trying to work off back-to-back errors to open in this inning. 1st and 3rd, 2 down, 1-2 count here in the top of the 2nd.
That's outside.
The pitch is high. Now they're going to throw this. Well, they're going to let the runner have second base there, Cardenas.
Very, very smart, Dan. They don't want to make that throw, make an error, let that run home. That was really smart by Salem. That was more of a delayed steal. See if we can get they were trying to get us to throw the ball around, and we weren't biting on that. That one's fouled back off by Perry. So the count remains 1-2.
2-2.
2-2, sorry.
Yep,
count
last
even.
pitch. But it's all right. Like I said, the big scoreboard here at Withington Field is out of service today, so.
I had it marked. I'm sorry.
But we've got redundancies.
The 2-2 is swung on and fouled again. Perry just staying alive, slapping that ball away.
Battling it out.
They're sort of half-hearted swings, but she's just trying to make contact wherever she can, just try to keep the count alive.
Just trying to protect that plate, Dan.
Still 2-2. Here it comes. And it's a bouncer. Goes off the glove of Cyrus, and a run's going to score. That was a hot shot down the left field line, the third base line. Cyrus couldn't make a clean play on it, and it's 1-0 Vikings.
Yeah, wow, that was just squeezed right in there. Actually, if Cyrus might have not touched it, it might have gone foul, but she does try to make a play on him. Now the Salem has runners on the corners, and that allows a run, so Salem gets the quick lead, 1-0 here. Marino, the catcher at the plate for the Vikings. And I had mentioned before many times the last time the Vikings had played the Falcons, and I thought Marino had a very, very good game for them. So it's just to see how they pitch her here. And she's probably one of the, I don't know the stat here, probably one of the better hitters on this team. Let me just check that. Well, batting .250, but last time she did play the Vikings, she was, the Falcons, sorry, she was really doing a great job at the plate and behind the plate. Is that first pitch is in there for a ball, so the count's starting off 1-0 to Marino.
I'm going to call that last play a base hit, too. I think that was too strong of a shot for Cyrus to play cleanly as the 1-0 is swung on and missed.
Absolutely, Dan. That was a shot right down that line, and nothing really Cyrus could do about it. It was just try to get a glove on it, not let it go into left field, because that was too close to call if it was going to be a foul or not. So great play by Cyrus.
Just by getting contact on that, sorry, but that's fouled off. Just by making contact on that play, I think she was able to at least save a run, because if that went down the left field line, I believe Cardenas, who's standing at third now, would have came around and scored as well.
Yeah, she would have. No doubt about that. That would have been just enough. It would have slowed down that outfield grass. It's a lot slower out there with the rain here today. That one's fouled back off. So Kerr ahead in the count.
Count is 1-2. Cardenas at third, Perry at first. With 2 down here in the top of the second inning. 1-0, the Vikings in front on the RBI single by Marissa Perry.
That pitch in the dirt. Comtois making a great stop on that. Comtois has done quite the job so far for the Falcons this season behind the plate and at the plate. So a nice play by her and keeping Cardenas over there at third.
Perry does take second on the wild pitch.
That pitch is high. Cardenas, Comtois taking a look at Cardenas over there, making sure she stays at third. So the count now full.
This is dialing up Galen Kerr's pitch count. This next pitch is going to be the 40th of the game, 29th of this inning.
Kerr's pitch is swung on and fouled to the left out of the reach of Cyrus and Medina. So we're going to do it again. Count now full. Marino, 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. The Falcons have already given up a run, 2 runners on, both in scoring position. So 2 ducks in the pond for the Vikings.
Galen Kerr just hoping this 30th pitch will be her last of this inning. It's not going to be.
Pitch is just outside.
Bases are loaded. With
Now
2
at
outs, though.
Number 11, Jen Crovo.
Top of the order for the Vikings. Crovo now up at the plate.
The drizzle definitely starting to set in here.
Yeah.
You can see raindrops on the laptops.
First pitch is up for a ball. Yeah, Dan, the weather really starting to come down here. Papers we have starting to become a little bit soaked. So that pitch by Kerr is up high and outside. So Kerr down the count 2-0. It looked like that almost got away from Comtois. Comtois able to get the ball before any runners advance.
It's right out in front. There's really no chance to try to take bases considering they're loaded now.
And there's a swing and fouled off slap by Carvo. Count now 2-1, so Kerr making her way back in this count.
Crovo for 1 grounded out to the pitcher back in the first.
She has that running start. She swings and misses at a pitch that is low and in the dirt, blocked by Comtois. So count now 2-2. Kerr has battled back and evened this count up. Chance for ball 3 there. I was surprised that Carvo swung at that. Kerr's pitch is swung on and missed, so Kerr gets out of the jam. She does give up a run as the Falcons are now done 1-0.
Yeah, that inning could have gone a lot worse, but Kerr stopped that right there.
So for the Falcons, Kerr does strike out the side, gives up an unearned run.
Yeah, really weird inning, Dan. It looked like very promising for the Vikings, and then all of a sudden, for the Falcons after getting into a jam. And then, the Vikings came soaring back and got the run that they probably should have got earlier on in the inning after 2 quick Ks by Kerr after she allowed runners on the corners there. Amy, what do you think about that?
I think the Falcons, I think they need to get on base this inning. Because they're down by 1, so, they have to start getting on base, being, aggressive hitting. I mean, they were not in a good position last inning. Well, that time out on field, but that was really just like kind of like bad luck. I feel like the weather's looking really gross right now, to be honest. Like it's not easy. The ball's getting slippery. It's not fun to pitch in this type of weather. Like I remember when I played softball, it's not fun to pitch in this. Your hands get tight and it's just like it's gross. Like so like hopefully if they can just get a grasp on the ball, just try to stay warm when they're in the dugout.
Yeah, it's just one of those things about playing sports in New England. You never know what the weather's going to be like, and this week looks, as you mentioned, very, very gross. This weekend doesn't look great, and this week has been not the greatest week ever weather-wise, especially after having a couple of nice days last week, as we mentioned when they played Salem and Nichols and things like that. So now we enter the bottom half of the second inning. Gilday set to start it up for the Falcons. We'll see what she can do here.
You want to hold on to the umbrella, too.
The first pitch from Gilday is in there for a strike on the inside corner. So Gilday down 0-1. Pitch inside, so it evens up the count at 1-1. Gilday coming into this matchup at 314. One of the 5 Falcon hitters hitting in the 300s. That pitch is in there for a ball. So Gilday up in the count 2-1. Pitches in the dirt that gets away from the catcher Marino. No harm done, no base runners on. Gilday ahead in the count 3-1. Hitters count.
Yeah, she's just waiting for her right pitch, which I don't blame her because none of them are looking that great right now. So.
No, that very first pitch was inside, and she went down the count 0-1, but 3 straight balls here. Swung on and fouled off. It looked like her ankle, so the count now even. Or, sorry, full. You were right, Amy. My mistake. See who wins the battle here.
Yeah, the pitcher's hands are getting cold, like I can tell. On both teams.
That pitch is in there for ball 4, so Gilday walks, and the Falcons have their first runner at the bottom of the second inning.
If the weather doesn't start getting better, I have a feeling there will be a lot of walks in this game from both teams.
Brianna Yuga batting at 295, steps to the plate for the Falcons in the number 6 role.
LeBlanc is stepping in as a pitch runner.
Yep, LeBlanc, who's playing the flex today, out in center field, will be subbing in to pitch run. We do see that quite a bit from the Falcons, especially with LeBlanc. Yuga sets up in the box and the pitch, and she takes that first one for a strike, so she's down on the count 0-1. As I mentioned before, sorry, batting at 295 for the Falcons, and that swung on and hit down third base line, but foul. Yuga already down the count, the senior from Everett, Massachusetts, 0-2.
Yuga this year batting 295, 23 for 78 at the plate, has knocked in 11 runs, 8 strikeouts to 5 walks.
Thank you, Dan. Pitch to Yuga is in the dirt for a ball. The throw down to second. LeBlanc tries to get in there, but she is thrown out by the catcher Marino, as I mentioned before, strong arm.
Yeah, kind of risky stealing there, but.
That was a ball. So Yuga trying to battle back here in the count down 1-2, but you know, LeBlanc thrown out by Marino there. I don't know if it was the smartest move, but it looked like it was a perfect pitch out by Salem there.
Yeah.
A little bit of off speed. Yuga looked like she wanted that one leaning forward, but it is called a ball. So the count now in the even. Marino asking the umpire where that pitch missed, and it looked like it was just a little bit high as it crossed the plate. Ooh, that pitch also identical to the last spot with a little bit more velocity. So the count now full if that was called a ball. So you see the off speed, and then Salem coming right back with the fastball. Pitch to Yuga is swing and a miss. Yuga goes down.
First strikeout of the game for Eilish Burney.
Burney with her first strikeout of the ball game, the sophomore from Bristol, Connecticut.
Galen Kerr.
The pitcher now, see if she can help her cause. Kerr. Pitch to Kerr is fouled to the backstop. Kerr coming into this matchup, batting with a 200 average on the dot. Seeing her first appearance today. Getting down in the count 0-1 after that first pitch was swung on and fouled. That pitch is very well short of the plate, as that looked like it slipped out of the hand and it rolled into the catcher.
It's the best way you have to describe what happened there. It's a slow roller to the plate.
Count 1-1. The weather, the temperature has dropped here significantly with the rain starting to coming down, and that's a check swing, and the umpire does say she went. So down the count 1-2 is Kerr. Matt and Medina waiting on deck for the Falcons. Pitch is swung on and missing a high pitch outside.
Number 2 for Eilish Burney.
So Burney with her second strikeout of the game retires the Falcons as we now move to the top half of the third inning. Your Fitchburg State Falcons 0, Salem State 1. So what are you thinking here, Amy?
The weather is not looking good, so I think it's really affecting the way both teams are playing, and it's really like whoever can handle it, whoever's tougher at this point.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I've seen Kerr give up many runs this season or any runs this season. This is the first time I kind of really seen her give up a run this early on, especially. And, you know, it might be just the tightness, you know, the weather coming out here, you know, pitching in a few games that were like 70 degrees and coming back out here and, you know, pitching in a game that's, you know, 45 and raining.
They've had to change the balls like plenty of times already, so you know the weather's not good today. Like, it's the ball's slippery. Like, that's just a reason for there to be more errors. And this is going to be a long game.
I believe we have Raymond starting things up for the Vikings.
It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters to start this next inning, and it'll start with Jess Raymond, who's 0 for 1. She struck out swinging her first time up.
Raymond will follow her, the second baseman.
And if you want a scoring update from baseball, it is 2-1 Falcons in the bottom of the 5th.
That's a good thing, Dan. That's a very, very good thing. You said Falcons, right?
Yep.
All right. Double checking.
The FSU that is most pertinent to our viewers' interests is winning.
That first pitch is high for a ball. Kerr down and count 1-0. She goes for a bunt there, it looked like, and that's called a strike.
She's got the running approach here.
Yeah. Oh, she actually does try to bunt that time, and she does offer at it in the count now. Kerr up ahead, 1-2.
Strike. So 1-2 the count now on that last strike.
And the running approach is hit down third base. Cyrus not able to make a play on it. It goes just off her glove. So the Vikings not really feeling the field to start this one. As Salem has their first runner here in the top half of the third inning.
Now at bat, number 16, Rebecca Kriegman.
Kriegman now at the plate for Salem State.
Second and third. I'll turn on and off. That's going to be the Falcons' third error of this game.
Yeah, we don't usually see that. It's just the weather.
A bunt by Kriegman, picked up by Kerr over to Gemma, and that play goes down is 1-4. So Kriegman retired, but it does move over the runner to into scoring position. Sorry.
Yeah, because I'll move the runner to second. Yep. Now 1 out. So F11. It's
Woodman.
Manusos.
Now at bat, number 5, Chloe Manusos.
Oh, this Woodman's ours.
Manusos up at the plate. It's all right, Amy. And then at second, after that error down at third by Cyrus, and that pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner. So the count 0-1. Manusos up at the plate. The 0-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Manusos looking at that pitch, has not swung yet. Taking the first 2 pitches. Kerr up in the count 0-2, and she seems to be feeling a little bit of something there. The 0-2. Ooh, just missing on the outside corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks kind of close.
It did. Manusos batting left-handed today. Looked like that one just got the outside corner. But we'll do it again. So in the count now 1-2. The pitch is swung on and missed. That pitch is a little bit high and outside, but Manusos goes for it, and Kerr has her third K of the ball game. Excuse
now
me.
At bat, number 17, Gabriana Cardenas.
I've got 5 strikeouts for Galen Kerr.
My mistake. That actually is 5 strikeouts for Kalinger, and Cardenas now up at the plate for the Vikings. That first pitch is in there for a strike. Cardenas looking at that one. Takes the sign for the third base coach, and the pitch is high. Count now even at 1-1. Cardenas takes a timeout. Looks like a little bit of confusion between the coach and Cardenas.
Vikings already have the first run of this game. They're looking for a little more insurance. And they don't care how they get it.
If I was Cyrus or Brown, I'd just be prepared here for a bunt, or even Kerr or a Comtois if they're going to make a play on this and get the second out. It is a bunt down third base line. Cyrus over the first to Gemma, and that's out number 2. They hold the runner Raymond up at third, though.
That's the third out of the inning.
After 2.5, Salem still leads 1-0.
That was the third out. A bit of confusion again with no scoreboard here, so not a lot of players knowing how many outs there were.
Well, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can hit F11. And that clears all of that. So now hit F12.
So Kerr gets out of the jam as we now head to the bottom of the third inning. The Falcons with their third opportunity, and it will start with Maddie Medina, followed by the top of the order, Cyrus, and then Gemma.
I'll say it's a little interesting about how, because, we take the scoreboard out in left field for granted, but everybody got confused about the number of outs.
Hey, to be honest with you, Dan, I've gotten confused in the past with the number of outs, even with the scoreboard, so.
It's like the one baseball doubleheader I called up at Rickards Field, the scoreboard happened to be out that day, too, so. And I realized how quickly I was misremembering the count and everything, even though I was marking it with my scores book and everything.
To be honest with you, Dan, I kind of stopped marking the how many pitches have been thrown here because it's starting to get kind of wet. As I mentioned, it is starting to rain, so I kind of have everything just starting to soak up.
Yeah, the pen starts to run on the ink, just doesn't stick to the paper, it all gets messy and what have you. It's rough.
And now it's just all based on memory now, Dan.
Now at bat, number 11, Maddie Medina.
Medina with her first appearance of the game. Medina hitting at 183. In there for a strike on the inside corner. To be honest with you, Dan, I think Medina was the player of the game for the Falcons last time they played Salem State in that first matchup, as she had 3 RBIs, the only 3 runs of the ball game, and that won the game for the Falcons 3-2. That swung on a hit down third base line. Salem was able to make the play, a scoop over from the first baseman, and Medina is retired. Again, though, Medina really seemed to have the Vikings number last time they played. Carvo making the scoop over there, first base for Salem.
When the ball's put in play, you can hit F8.
We'll see LeBlanc up at the plate.
And it's a fair ball. You can hit F8 to clear the count.
This is Michelle, and that first pitch is in there for a strike as she looks at the first pitch. I did make a mistake. It was Medina, LeBlanc, then Cyrus, not Gemma. As we see the 2 bottom hitters for the Falcons in the top of the order due up here. That pitch is very well short of a strike, so the count now even at 1-1. Rain's starting to settle down a little bit more here as we're still getting a sprinkle.
I'm actually wondering who the rain favors.
Yeah, that's right. That pitch inside for a ball. So far, I think it's favoring Salem. Not so sure if the rain is really committing the errors that we've made, as it just like hits off the glove and things like that. Not many throwing errors, but right now I still think it's favoring the Vikings. That's swung on and fouled just over the dugout of the Vikings. I'm sorry, Dan, what is the count? I've lost it.
It is 2-2.
So the count now even for LeBlanc.
Yeah, if it's fouled off, it's always a strike, unless there's 2 strikes. Yep. 2-2, 29th pitch of the game coming for Leash Bernie.
Bernie doing a good job so far. That pitch is in the dirt. Evens the, well, makes the count full now.
Falcons have had a base runner in every inning. Looking to get another one here, especially with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, that's right. I was just about to say Cyrus on deck, hoping for an opportunity here for the Vikings. I mean, for Fitchburg.
That was 2 strikes. There was no.
So we do it again after that foul ball down the third base line. It's count now even at 2-2.
Because you put a ball in there. So
LeBlanc hoping to ride up the pitching count from Bernie. That's a swing and a miss. The ball's in the dirt, so the throw over from Marino to first baseman, Carvo, and that will retire LeBlanc. Bernie doing a good job so far here in the bottom half of the third inning as we see the top of the order. Now number 3, Tori Cyrus, the senior from Everett, Massachusetts. She will be back for another season after the injury that she had to the right knee. Hit down the right field line, just fouled. She stung that one.
Yep. Laced it. I mean, timing was just a bit too early there.
Yeah, just missed that line.
Took off like a rocket over the umpire. But the thing is, the umpire's standing in foul territory. That goes over his head. It's not going to be a fair ball.
Correct. If that got down that line, that might have been a chance for a triple there. The right fielder is playing a little bit close to that right field line now. That pitch is very well short of the plate. Well, that actually might have got a piece of her. So it hits her. They call the ball dead, and Cyrus takes first. So hits batsman. So now Gemma coming up to the plate. An opportunity for Gemma here with the runner on base.
Number 1, Marissa Gemma.
The interesting thing about that ball, it came out unusually out of the hand of Bernie, and we've had a couple of those pitches that just roll in the dirt or whatever, and it took 2 hops, and I guess it just clipped Cyrus in the foot.
Yeah, Cyrus looking kind of confused at what to do there, and it kind of just got her. And that pitch is fouled off to the left side down the third base line. So Gemma down the count 0-1. as I mentioned before, Cyrus with that knee also plays basketball for the Falcons and missing a lot of playing time this season. Is finally back. Good to see her back as that second pitch is swung on and hit down third base line again. Third baseman makes the play, and that will go down as 5-3. So the Falcons unable to do anything with that base runner at first. So after 3 innings, we move to the top of the 4th, and the Falcons are down 1-0 over the Salem State Vikings in this playoff matchup, this first-round playoff matchup. What are some of the things that need to be done here, Amy?
There we go.
I don't even know right now because I feel like the weather is really affecting them. Other than staying warm, I don't know. What do you think?
I think the Falcons need to clean up their plays in the field because it's not the weather that's affecting their field play right now. Those are ground balls that they need to make. I mean, yeah, the dirt's a little.
I think it's just like, it's kind of like when it's cold out, it really can affect your mental mindset. So I think if anything, they need to get their head in the game, and they need to think mind over matter. Like, yeah, the weather sucks, but they need to keep playing as hard as they usually do.
Just live the play another day is the motto should be going through their heads right now. Gemma really can't be thinking about those 2 plays or 2 mistakes she made. Cyrus can't be thinking about the mistakes she made, as seniors. They need to come out, they need to forget. They need to have a short memory. They need to come out playing even harder so they don't have to say, oh, if I had just made that play the next day, then we'll still be, alive and playing. No, they don't need to do that. They could just come back out and be like, all right, I'm going to make the next play so we don't have to think about that the next day. And I just think that's exactly what they need to do. And, I think they're very much capable of doing it. This game could definitely turn around for the Falcons. We've seen it before twice here already. Just 5 days ago, Fitchburg really took care of Salem. And they need a couple of big hits to come in the next 4 innings.
Leading off for the Vikings, number 21, Marissa Sanchez.
Marissa Sanchez now for the Vikings in the box for her second at bat. She takes the first pitch for a strike.
Sanchez struck out her first time up, so did the batter that will be coming up next.
Pitches in there for a ball. Count 1-1, count even.
I think what happened was for the scoreboard to work, this has got to be the window that's selected. So I'm thinking that might have gotten unselected.
And the pitch and the running approach for a bunt, and she drops the bat. It looked like lost the bat trying to get that bunt down. So the count is now 1-2 in favor of Kerr.
It's got to go down as a swinging strike.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just the bat just flew out of her hand and landed about 15 feet in front of the plate.
And that swung on and just fouled on the third base line. Cyrus almost having to make another play, but it does go foul. So count 1-2. Kerr is still ahead in the count.
So it's a foul. It was a foul. It was foul. So it's nothing. It's a foul ball with 2 strikes. It's nothing. Another thing, it's like if they make contact, it's never a ball.
So Kerr sets. And the pitch. And that's swung on and hit short to Gemma. Gemma charging it, makes the play. Oh! No. Sanchez is safe.
She went fast.
Sanchez with that speed making it down the first base line on that short grounder to Gemma. Gemma unable to get it to Brown in time. So Sanchez stands at first with no outs as DeColagero up at the plate for Salem State.
I mean, that last play there for the Falcons, it was just, she detected the off-speed pitch, so she got that running approach, made slight contact like a running bunt, and put it right in front of Gemma well enough to the point where she wasn't really able to, Gemma, even with a perfect throw to first, had nothing for it.
Yeah, that first pitch, a strike to DeColagero. Yeah, Dan, it looked like she might have been going the other way. She was approaching it, but she was going to her right instead of her left, and it was just a really hard play for Gemma as that Comtois fires over to first to Brown, and Brown is not able to get the tag down, so Sanchez back in safely. Dan, I lost the count there in that exchange.
It is 1-1. This next pitch will be Galen Kerr, 65th of the game.
So the count 1-1 even for Kerr. See if you can battle back here, and that pitch is inside for a ball. And fires over to first again is Comtois, and back safely is Sanchez standing. So a very, very close pitch there. As I mentioned before, that umpire not really agreeing with that inside zone so far here today. The count now 2-1, Kerr down. That's a swing and a miss. DeCalagero not able to get a hold of that one. This count now even at 2-2.
Sanchez this year is 4 for 4 in stolen bases, dancing around at first.
Yeah, she's got some speed on her. That ball's fouled off the end of the bat. Yeah, Sanchez with a lot of speed for that Salem team, as you saw going down that first base line. She was able to get in there safely. So count 2-2, count full.
It's 2-2.
So Kerr trying to win this battle here by DeCalagero. The pitch, and that swung on and popped straight up to the second baseman, Gemma. Gemma able to make the play. Record the first out of the inning for the Falcons. That was popped straight up, and that was a high pitch. Just wondering why DeCalagero may have gone after that. But that brings Marissa Perry up to the plate. That's a good thing for the Falcons, as she was able to just pop that straight up. Gemma making the play and coming back strong after that last play over at first.
Perry's 1 for 1 in this game. Hit that hot shot to Cyrus for the RBI single.
Yeah, Perry really starting to turn it on for Salem. She had a good last couple games versus the Falcons, from what I can remember. She bunts it down the third base line. It goes foul. Cyrus picks it up. And the count is now 0-1. So the Vikings playing a bit of a small ball here to try to get some runs across, some insurance runs.
Trying to get them all across however they can, even though they do have the one run. I mean, you can't assume that the Falcons' offense isn't going to bow back, especially since, Bernie's got an ERA of 4.63 coming into today.
That's hit hard to Medina. Medina over to second to Gemma. Gemma steps on second for the out.
That was quick thinking by Medina.
Yeah, Dan, as you, I don't know if you wanted to finish your thought there, but the Vikings are very much capable of coming back in this ball game, especially Bernie with the how high her ERA is coming into this season.
Now at bat, number 13, Desiree Marino.
Desiree Marino up at the plate for the Vikings. That was a great play by Gemma to come across second base, make the play, just step on second, and record the second out of the inning. First pitch is up high for a ball.
Looking at Moreno's numbers, 250 on the year. He's walked 12 times to 7 strikeouts, and has been hit 7 times as well. She's actually been hit more times than every other player on Salem's roster combined.
Wow, that's just staying in on that plate. Comtois fires over to second, as Sanchez does try to steal. As the umpire wasn't sure what to call that, it looked like Medina didn't get the tag down, so Sanchez doesn't slide and just gets around the tag and is now standing at second safely.
Yeah, on that last play, the throw down to second base, I mean, the runner Perry overshot the bag, but Medina missed the tag, and so there was a brief moment where nothing had happened even after she'd overrun the bag, so Perry was able to get back on second and was safe.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I said Sanchez. That ball's fouled out by Marino for a strike. But, yeah, Perry just overran the base, but it looked like Medina might have got her leg, but the umpire, not sure what to call it, calls her safe.
I think she swung. I think she missed the tag.
Yeah, I have no way of telling that from here, but, that's the thing about softball or even baseball. You got to apply that tag, especially if you're going down to second like that. That was a perfect throw from Comtois. Right low, nice and low, but a weird decision not to slide there. I think Medina was expecting a slide, but no slide from Perry. She just runs right in. pitch to Marino, and that's popped straight up to Cyrus. Cyrus is called up by Medina, and Medina makes the play and ends the inning for the Falcons.
Salem still up 1-0.
So after 3.5, Salem leads 1-0 over your Fitchburg State Falcons. Great job by Cyrus to back off that ball as Medina did call her off. So we get a pause in action. Dan, do we have an update with baseball?
What was that?
We'll get that for you in a second.
If you're going to say the scoreboard sucks, I wouldn't have blamed you one bit, even though I made it. Trust me, the interface sucks. That's why we haven't been using it. I was going to make a touch screen.
As we wait for that update, Amy, what did you see in that last inning, or what can the Falcons improve on hitting-wise here coming up?
I think that they need to be, they need to take the good pitches that they get and they swing at them, definitely. As far as the field goes, they did well in that inning. They didn't let any runs score. They did everything they could, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, that last inning in the field, Falcons doing a great job. Even after that play at second base. But I think what happened there was, like I said, Medina was just expecting the slide, but no slide and no tag. So Perry was able to get in there safely, but great job by Kerr to pop out Marino and get the final out of the inning as we now will lead off with number 14, Jesselyn Brown for the Falcons, the number 3 hitter. She'll be followed by Comtois and Gilday.
Brown flew out to right field her first time up. 0 for 1 on the day. Brown steps in right-handed to the right-handed Alicia Burney. And here's the first pitch of this inning.
Swung on, hit down the third baseline, past the third baseman and shortstop Sanchez. So in there is Brown, so a leadoff base hit for the Falcons. Comtois now coming to the plate.
Nice play to start.
Now at bat, number 20, Emily Comtois.
Comtois gave a ball a ride and back in the first inning, but it was caught out there by the left fielder. Now we'll have a pinch runner. Damari Grossi's going to come in.
We see this a lot. Grossi coming in, either LeBlanc or Grossi for the Falcons quite a bit, coming in to pitch run many times this season. We've seen that from McDonald, the coach for Fitchburg. So we'll see if we get any more steals, as LeBlanc was thrown out her first time. Last time we did see a pitch runner, so we'll see what kind of technique comes here, as we do have the number 4 hitter, so I'm not sure if we'll see a bunt.
Comtois batting .356 on the season, so
see what happens here.
I wouldn't be surprised if she swings away, but we'll see what the strategy is that the Falcons will come up with.
You don't see it very often, Dan, but I have seen 3 or 4 hitters hit. If you've ever watched the College World Series, a team that is well known for that is the Texas Longhorns. Will do it all the time. Swung on and fouled that first pitch as she is swinging away. That's out of play over the fence. Marino running out of room. Comtois down the count 0-1.
I'll say, too, in comparison to Galen Kerr's pitch count, which through 4 innings is about 73 pitches, 73, 74, Alicia Burney, this next pitch is going to be her 38th.
Wow. Yeah, the Falcons really need to start taking pitches, or they need to start becoming a little bit aggressive. As Comtois does bunt. The second baseman, Craigman, able to make it over there. She fires a, nope, no throw to second. So Grossi moving over to second base after the bunt from Comtois, so putting a duck in the pond for the Falcons. But that great play by the third baseman there to make the throw over to Craigman, who was covering the second baseman, makes a great play to stretch in, get the out. So now Gilday with an opportunity here with the runner in scoring position with Yuga on deck.
There we go.
1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Turns it on and off. These are all toggle switches.
Burney, as you mentioned before, just under 40 pitches for the Vikings so far. That pitch is swung on and hit to Craigman. Craigman makes a play, flips over to first. Carbo making the play, running it back to the pitcher's mound. That moves over Grossi. So Yuga with a great opportunity here. Base run, base hit will score a run for the Falcons and even this thing up. So we have the go-ahead run at the plate in the tying run at third base.
It's the closest the Falcons have had to home in this contest in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, this is a little bit uncharacteristic of the Falcons as they have been hitting well, especially lately. Bernie's pitch is up high for a ball. Marino trying to frame that one, not able to.
Right now, 1 run on 2 hits for Salem, no runs on 2 hits for Fitchburg, but the most concerning thing, of course, 3 errors against the Falcons leading to that 1 run.
Errors can kill, Dad, but like I said, short memory. You don't want to be waking up tomorrow, hey, if I had just made that play. You just want to make the next one so that you can get out of here with a win and live to play another day and make up for that error. So that pitch is in there for a strike.
Yep. Wonder if this game will have 2 games left on their schedule at the worst.
And that's swung on and hit. Slow roll to the third baseman, fires over to first. First base coach arguing that that Carvo's foot was off the base, but it was on, the umpire does say, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So
just hit F11, 3rd out, so that clears everything. Then F12. Yep. That was the 3rd baseman that made that play, right?
Correct.
Yep, so just another ground out to the 3rd baseman.
Coligero over there at 3rd with the strong arm.
Think she doesn't make that play quickly enough and well enough. Falcons could have equalized there on an infield single, but not to be.
You know what? She took forever to get there, so I thought Yuga had a great shot of making it in there. But I'm not gonna lie, DiColigero has one of the probably better arms on this team, as a lot of third basemen do, and she just fired over to first, no problem. So really trusting her arm there.
It's going to be the top 3 hitters for the Vikings leading off this 5th inning. Corvo, Raymond, and Kriegman.
Again, as we move now to the top half of the 5th inning, your Fitchburg State Falcons are down 1-0 in this 5-4 matchup between these playoff teams. So we'll actually get an update pretty soon from baseball from Dan.
Yep, I can give you an update right now, and I think I'm going to refresh that page because I think it's been stuck there for a while. So I'll give it to you in 1 moment.
No problems. Kerr back out on the hill for your Vikings.
Corvo.
Now at bat, number 11, Jen Corvo.
Yep, it is the top of the 7th at Rickards Field. It's Framingham 1, Fitchburg 6.
Great thing is there is a bunting attempt, and that goes foul off the bat, our Corvo. And Kerr is ahead in the count, 0-1. Good thing for the Falcons there, getting on the board quick for baseball and being able to hold that lead.
And keep in mind, for the baseball, it's a 9-inning game, too, today.
Correct.
Unlike
That's
all the
right.
conference games.
And that ball is bunted. Brown tries to pick it up. She's not able to get a clean handle on it. She fires over Gemma, but Carvo's safe.
I hate to give an error. I got to do it again.
4 on the day for the Vikings, as that will be an error on Brown, the first baseman, who's been very, very solid all season.
Now at bat, number 14, Jess Raymond.
Raymond at the plate for the Vikings, and another opportunity for Salem State as, again, Fitchburg commits another error, and that's a swing and fouled off with the running approach Raymond is. You seem to be seeing that a lot here today, Dan, is that running approach from Salem State.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I mean, just try to put a little more power, a little more oomph on it. If you think you can read the ball before it breaks, then try to take advantage of it that way.
I think it's one of those hard things for hitters, but it's also a great technique because you wonder what the first baseman and third baseman are going to do, because I've seen it once or twice where they think they're bunting and they just fire it right down the line, and third baseman or first baseman aren't able to make the play. As that is a bunt, and it goes right by Cyrus as I just say that, and there's no one actually covering third. The left fielder has to come over and cover third, and now there's 2 runners on for Salem. So Cyrus moving in for the bunt. It just goes right over the glove or the left side of Cyrus. Cyrus, momentum all going forward, isn't able to make the play.
I'm going to give that as a base hit there because she was charging and it was well out of her reach. So
Yeah, nothing Cyrus can do about that. As I had just mentioned, that running in approach and what the first baseman and third baseman are going to do, and that's exactly what happened there, except it was a bunt.
Yeah, you did well to sum that up there, and so that's a big base hit for Salem. They've got 2 on. They're looking to do some more damage with Kriegman coming to the plate. Kriegman in this game is 0 for 2. She's grounded out both times.
Well, Kerr has come up big, getting out of big jams so far in this game. She's been in a lot. The first time she was in one, she was almost out of it. She ended up giving up a run and then got out of another bigger jam later that inning. So we'll see what she could do here. Kerr's first pitch to Kriegman is fouled off into the backstop. The number 3 hitter for Salem was the 5 hitter, I believe, the last time these guys played. And Kriegman really having probably the best game out of everybody, maybe besides the catcher Marino. Probably the reason why she's moved up in the order for Salem. The pitch to the second baseman looked like a little bit of off speed there from Kerr. It's fouled off for a strike, so ahead of the count is Kerr 0-2, if I am correct, Dan. 0-2?
That is correct. Kerr hasn't had a strikeout since the 3rd inning, early on in that.
And I believe that was the inning that she got out of a jam. I believe she had 2 Ks in that inning.
It was the one that she had 2 strikeouts in the inning as that pitch goes for a ball. 1-2 the count was back in the second. She got 2 strikeouts and then that hot shot off of Cyrus's glove.
Correct, that's right.
Which led to the run scoring.
That pitch is high.
Yes. Count is now 2-2. Pitch number 84 coming for Kerr. Here it is.
Swan hit down third base line, foul.
84 pitches, 60 for strikes for Kerr. None down, top of the 5th inning, 1-0. Vikings out in front. Crovo at second, Raymond at first, and Kriegman at the plate for the Vikings. You know, wearing the blue uniforms with orange numbering and trim. Quite sharp, quite unique.
Just missing Kriegman on that is the pitch inside, so now the count full.
Kerr knows she needs a strike here and doesn't get it. At eye level, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Second walk allowed by Kerr.
Number 5.
Now at bat, number 5, Chloe Manusos.
Manusos now at the plate with the bases loaded. Kriegman on first.
Manusos 0 for 2 with the strikeout today.
After Kerr, where Kriegman, that's fouled off.
Might have gotten a piece of Comtois's mask.
Yeah, it looked like just barely hitting off the mask of Comtois, and the count 0-1. So Kerr, last time in this situation, was able to get a couple of strikeouts. So, like I said, we'll see what she does here. Kerr coming back to the plate, and it looked like they tried a suicide squeeze. They got him in a rundown, and I believe that was Carbo sliding in safely for the Vikings.
It wasn't necessarily a slide, in my opinion, but it was something.
Carbo is safe, though, and the Vikings score another run as they tried a suicide squeeze. And Comtois and Cyrus look like playing third. Actually, that was Maddie Medina covering for Cyrus, coming in for the bunt, and the Vikings were able to get on the board as they mishandled the throw. Comtois was able to block it and avoid any more runs coming home.
I'm not even sure what to score that.
That was most likely an errant throw from, I believe it was Medina going home. So I think Comtois was a little bit too far in, though, when she had made the catch. So a very odd situation there for the Vikings, as they did have Carbo in a rundown.
They didn't really
had the out.
The plate enough. That was the problem there.
Yeah. That was a free out for the Vikings.
I mean,
the Falcons.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. So 1-2. And the pitch is wet, very well short of the plate. Contois has to fire over to first, as there's no on first occupying it, so it's a strike 3 in the dirt. Contois is able to record the out, first out of the inning. Cardenas now up the plate for the Vikings. 2 runners in scoring position still for Salem State, as Salem does lead now 2-0 after the mishandle by the Falcons in the pickle there. That's a strike. The pitch from Kerr, and that's in the inside corner. Cardenas not taking a look at that, not swinging, so Kerr ahead of the count, 0-2. Kurt 0-2, and that swung on in a pop-up to Gemma. Gemma able to make the play and retire. Cardenas no advance from the runners.
Marissa Sanchez, number 21 for Salem State, stepping up to the batter's box, and Kerr getting 2 quick outs here after allowing another run on an errant throw by, I believe it was Medina over there at short, and that's down in outside corner. I'm kind of shocked that was a strike, but it is 0-1. Kerr ahead in the count.
Just at the knees there. Now the Falcons really trying to limit the damage. Now 5 errors on the day. That is terribly uncharacteristic as Sanchez swings and misses. It's 0-2.
This would be huge if Kerr can get out of this. Even with the 5 errors, the Falcons are only down 2-0 versus the Salem State team. And, just missing a bit high. Sanchez looking like she was going to try to protect there and swing, but holding off as she recognizes it's high and outside. Sanchez a shortstop, and there's a swing and just fouled, slap foul over the backstop. That was a foul. So it's a strike. And that pitch is just outside for a ball, so the count now 2-2.
You're good. It worked out in the end. This next pitch going to be the 100th for Galen Kerr.
Galen fires over Contois over to third.
She gets back in there, Raymond does. Just dove back in there, dancing a bit off the bag.
We got timeout real quick. Don't see that very often. They're going to dust off third. Very unusual.
Well, the field's getting a bit muddy.
And the pitch is swung on and fouled. Slap foul again over the Fitchburg dugout this time. Galen Kerr just trying to get out of this inning. As Dan said, she's over 100 pitches so far, so we'll see if we'll have another pitcher for the Falcons later in this game. It's a pitch from her, and that's hit down third base line. It's fair. 1 run in. Here comes the second run. Craigman scores.
That'll be good for a double by Sanchez.
Sanchez in there with a double, and that's 2 RBIs for her. As Salem now leads 4-0 over Fitchburg State.
Now at bat, number 27, Dalia De Caligaro.
De Caligaro, one of the tougher names on this Salem team that we've had to face so far, but she's got another runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Kerr, a bit of a struggle here. She's given up 3 runs in this inning. That first pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner. So Kerr starting off to count right, 0-1.
Now just to recap the situation, Sanchez at second, 2 outs, the 2 RBI. Really double there as De Caligaro offers at that pitch with the running bunt attempt, and it is 0-2. But now 4-0 Salem. It's gotten even tougher for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these runs charged either. Swing and a miss.
Swinging, yep.
That'll end the inning.
Strikeout for Galen Kerr.
And although Galen Kerr now standing with 7 strikeouts, those errors now adding up big time. I mean, you get that run down, you get that out, you stem the tide, you get out of this inning, and with just 1 run, you're down by a run. You keep this a makeable game, but now you only have 3 innings to come back.
Yeah, I think they could do it, but they got to eliminate the errors. God, 5 errors so far.
What's that?
You know, Kerr's over 100 pitches now. Not saying it's not. It's still, the Falcons could still get something going with the bats, but they got to clean up they play in the field. Like I said, short memory, and that seems to be something that they're not doing. They really need to clean up their field play. I'm sure the weather's affecting it, but they got to clean up. I mean, Salem hasn't really had too much trouble today, so they just got to clean their act up in the field.
It's been one of the challenges. An update from baseball. It is 6-2 Falcons, top of the 8th. And Tommy Parsons' day has come to an end. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts, but 6 walks. Fortunately, he was able to limit the damage, him and the rest of the defense.
Good for him.
Zachary Kirby, who led the MASCAC in strikeouts, only got, let's see, he didn't start. Emmanuel Powers did. He got 4 innings in there. Kirby's in there now trying to stem the tide for the Rams. But now the situation here, 5 bottom of the 5th, and it's 4-0 Salem. Alicia Ernie pitching well today.
The story is the errors, Dan.
That's the big story. 3 strikeouts and a walk for Bernie as here's a ground ball to short off the bat of Galen Kerr. Throws across for the out, and that's our first of the inning.
Now at bat, number 11, Maddie Medina.
Medina, the one that basically single-handedly won the game last time for the Falcons versus Salem State. See if you can get something going here. I believe this is only our 2nd attempt today. That pitch is high for ball 1. Falcons just in desperate need of some base runners.
Now that pitch count just at 44 now for Bernie. So the next one, 45. She's thrown 30 strikes. She's been pretty accurate. Swing and a miss from Medina. Ball was low and away, out of her reach.
So she's down the count 0-2. See if she can protect the play here and get an opportunity versus Bernie, who's been pitching a good game so far. That's swung on and hit right between Sanchez and the second baseman. Sanchez able to make the play and get the out. 2 big plays from Sanchez. 2 key plays for Salem in the field. That one was a little bit tough to her left. She's able to make the play and retire Medina 6-3.
Now at bat, number 16, Michelle LeBlanc.
Michelle LeBlanc set for her 2nd bat. Pitch to her is in there for a strike. She takes a look at that one on the inside corner.
LeBlanc go for 1 strikeout swing her first time up, but she gives this one a ride to right center field. The 2 fielders converge, but it's the right fielder who comes up with the catch, and that ends the inning.
Still leads 4-0.
That one, 12. Oh, well, I'm sorry, it was 11. My bad.
Salem looking like a completely different team in this matchup versus the Falcons, and the Falcons looking like a completely different team that they've looked like all season, to be honest with you.
And even though the Falcons did get that sweep on Saturday to get themselves this home game here in Fitchburg, the thing, though, is Salem has had 5 days to brood and vent over those 2 losses. So they come back here to Withington Field today, and they're looking a lot sharper, I imagine, than they did on Saturday. But, of course, they've taken huge advantage of the Falcons' miscues.
Oh, yeah. It's not like those games were far. Salem did push in the 2nd game, making it a 9-7 game. It seemed every time the Falcons scored, Salem come back with a run or 2 and make it really close. But in that first game, I thought Fitchburg had really come up big, especially with that hit by Medina, and that sparked the Falcons, and that's exactly what the Falcons need right now. They need to stop committing the errors. They need to, settle down. They need to have some big plays from the seniors, and they need that one big hit. They need to get a few base runners before that, though.
Of course, we know the stakes. The winner enters the double elimination phase, and they'll play Worcester tomorrow, but the loser doesn't get it tomorrow.
That's the tough thing about playoffs, Dan.
Yeah, it's interesting how, in baseball, there are many double elimination tournaments and what have you. Then again, but not in the MASCAC. There is no, it's double elimination once you get down to 4 teams. But at this moment in time, the 3-6, 4-5 matchup's not double elimination. You only get the one chance. First pitch swinging for Perry, and she pops out to Jesselyn Brown.
Brown called that out, so there was no collision.
Desiree Marino.
Number 13, Desiree Marino.
She'll come up to the plate. She is 0 for 1. She popped out to shortstop her last time up, and she walked in the second.
Marino's set to see her third at bat. That's the other thing. Salem are getting their third at bat. Fitchburg just finishing their second round.
Next pitch will be number 108 for Galen Kerr. She's thrown 76 strikes. And that one is laced to center. And making a diving play, not making the catch, though, is the center fielder, Kelsey LeBlanc. It'll be a base hit.
So Marino in there with the base hit, continuing her success versus the Falcons this season. Just short of the glove of LeBlanc out there in center.
She made a nice diving play at it. That's all she could have done, and it just was out of her reach.
Yeah, it looked like she kind of went back a little bit on that. It forced her to dive, so kind of misplayed the ball out there. Looks like you got Raymond now. I'm sorry, actually, let me just double check that for you. This is Carvo.
Thank you.
Pinch running for Desiree Marino at first base, number 19, Rachel Sear.
Rachel Sear coming into pitch run for Marino. See if she re-enters the game or if they make a change at the catcher position, Salem.
See, Salem's other catcher is Cardenas on the roster. Sear is a pitcher, so I would think that Marino, they will expect her to re-enter.
Re-enter the game, correct, yep.
So Rachel Sear, she's a sophomore. She's from Amesbury. Listed as a pitcher, but she's only thrown 10 2/3 this season. In terms of base stealing, she's not for naught. Morena herself is 3 for 4. But they must see a little more speed out of Sear.
Yeah, interesting move. Not sure what they might be trying here, Dan.
And now there's discussions here. They're talking about this. But between the umpires, I'm not sure what it's all about, though.
Looks like we got someone completely different other than Sear or Marino.
What was that? 108. 77 for strikes. 19. All right, they have confirmed, though, it is Rachel Sear.
Now at bat, number 11, Jen Crovo.
Crovo up at the plate for Salem, top of the order.
Reached on an error her last time up, has not reached safely today. 0 for 3.
She may be due for the Vikings here. The Falcons obviously hoping that they can at least get a ground out or a pop up or even a strikeout from Kerr as she sets the bunt that goes foul in between Cyrus and Comtois.
Sears running on the pitch. Well, not running on the pitch, but you know what I mean.
Correct. I got you, Dad.
Yeah, I can't say running on the pitch in this sport because if you do that, you're out.
I get what you're putting down on that one, Dan.
Or near enough to it, you know what. Can't leave the base until the ball leaves the circle. That's fouled off. And quickly 0-2. One down, top of the 6th. Rachel Sear on first. And the Vikings up 4-0.
Story of the day, again, Dan, in case anybody's just joining, is 5 errors for the Falcons. Literally the reason why Salem has all their runs right now. And that pitch is low. Contoy's doing a nice job behind the plate. She had to reach out to her left side there, glove side, making a nice play, making that catch. Pitch is outside for another ball.
112 pitches now for Kerr. I mean, it's a high pitch count, but she's had a few days of rest.
What's the count, Dan? 2-2?
2-2.
That pitch is swung on and hit roped out into left field, and that's over Yuga's head. She played a little bit wrong. And Salem's going to wave their runner home, and Medina making the throw to third base instead of the plate, so not hitting the cut. I'm sorry, she was the cut, so she decides not to go home as she was far out there in left field. So that scores another run for Salem, and a big hit from Carvo and an RBI for her. She stands at second.
I mean, you said that Crovo was probably due, and due she was. Absolutely laced it out to left field, well over the head of Yuga, who, unless she was playing near the warning track, was not going to have a chance at that ball.
She did run a little bit to her left. She started running that way more than back, but yeah, as you mentioned, no chance. And I just got to stop talking, Dan, because I've called 2 things for the Salem today so far, and if I call something else, then they might get another run here.
Well, that's the first earned run of the day against Kerr. Ground ball back to Kerr, and she'll throw to first for the out.
She really had to fire that one. She looked over, and Raymond was flying down that first base line. So Craigman now set to stand in for Salem to maybe get a few insurance runs for them. Fitchburg is now down 5-0 over Salem State.
Put 2 outs, and then second 2-3.
Under Salem State, I'm sorry. That ball's fouled.
Clear it. There we go.
And that pitch is in there for a strike. Craigman taking a look at that one. No swing. So ahead in the count is Kerr.
Craigman today, she walked her last time up.
Strike 3.
A little bit high, but
Strikes out looking there. Kerr's 8th strikeout, but it comes just a bit too late as the Vikings get another run here in the top of the 6th. They lead 5-0.
Yep, Dan. Fitchburg really struggling on all ends today. Not saying that Salem's not a better team, but it's just the errors are really. It's as you mentioned that's Kerr's first earned run of the day. So Salem actually really hitting the ball that inning. That one over Yuga's head that scored that one run. I believe that was Crovo on that top of the order for Salem.
Although I don't want to say it was an error or anything, that last the throw in as the runner in Sear was rounding third and heading for home, it seemed like the throw in towards Cyrus was well off the money. So I don't know if she was trying to throw home, but it looked like, to me, it was a throw that she was trying to throw home, a wild throw, and didn't get nearly enough on it.
Oh, not even close. She needed probably a double cut right there, to be honest with you. But Sear, not much speed at all, and you could see that she was being waved home from a mile away. So the Falcons did have a chance there at the plate, but just had a few miscommunications at the plate here today. That first one where we had the runner run down in between home and third, and just an errant throw from Medina. And right there, it was just the throw was offline, and Medina had really no shot at getting the play at the plate. Cyrus, top of the order for the Falcons. See if we can get something going here. You know, it's not over until that final out, so we'll see what the Falcons can do here. In
48-34 for strikes. Last time up for Cyrus, she was plunked.
That first pitch to her is in there for a strike. She takes a look at that first one.
Strike. That ball's still in there, so.
And the pit. And that next pitch is in there on the outside corner for another strike. Cyrus again not swinging. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled straight back to Marino. So just staying live is Cyrus. Senior down the count 0-2.
I know Cyrus has got some power. She had a walk-off home run earlier this year. I believe that was against Plymouth.
I think that was that Bridgewater?
No, I was here for Bridgewater. I mean, no, I was at baseball for Bridgewater. So.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was Plymouth State then. That's outside for a ball. The number one rule, never disagree with Dan.
I'm wrong sometimes. I'm just always on it if I feel like...
If I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's like if I feel like I'm right, I'm going to argue till the end of the day. That last pitch was fouled off to the right side to the Viking dugout.
Cyrus just staying alive here, slapping that one.
1-2 the count, bottom of the sixth, second to last inning of regulation. It's 5-0 Salem. Vikings want to punch their ticket to Worcester. The Falcons would like to rip it out of Salem's hand.
Pitch very well short of the play, as we've seen a few times here today from both pitchers.
Bernie has been, though, very composed, finding the strike zone, doing well to do so. 54 pitches, 38 strikes.
The pitch from her is swung on and hit to shallow center. No problem for Salem, though, as they retire Cyrus. That was Raymond out there, making the play for Salem State.
Now at bat, number 1, Marissa Gemma.
Gemma, the senior captain.
I mean, if the Falcons don't start stringing together hits and runs, this could be the last time Gemma bats. She hits a ground ball to the first baseman, runs to the bag, tags it for the out.
Now at bat, number 14, Jesselyn Brown.
Jesselyn Brown stepping to the batter's box for the Falcons. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Second to last chance for the Falcons. The pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
Jesselyn Brown in this game, she singled her last time up back in the 4th. She flew out to right field her first time up back in the 1st.
So 1 for 2 to here, 2 here. See if she's due up for the Falcons. That's swung on a slow grounder back to the pitcher, and they're able to make the play, retire that as 1-3. So we now head to the top of the 7th inning. Salem up over your Fitchburg State Falcons 5-0 in this playoff matchup. Something that we didn't really, not say expect, but we didn't expect that many errors from the Falcons so far here today. 5 errors, and that's really been the story. Is there's only 1 earned run for Kerr is she's over 100 pitches. And one reason she may be at that mark is because of these errors that Fitchburg has committed so far here today.
Well, no doubt. They extend the inning. They make a lot harder on the pitchers, so they've got to throw more innings than they would absolutely like to try to get out of the inning.
And the crazy thing about these errors, Dan, is it's coming from, like, it's a little bit of everybody and just pretty run-down plays. As you mentioned, that last one out in left field wasn't an error, but, you know, throw a little bit offline. You know, the shortstop, Medina, never see that very often. Cyrus, the senior, and Gemma early on. Like, you just don't see that kind of stuff from them, and that's just really been the story here.
It's surprising. It's uncharacteristic. You don't see this out of this Fitchburg State team. It's 5 runs and 6 hits for Salem right now. No runs and 2 hits for Fitchburg, and 5 errors. It's amazing in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, it really is.
Let Galen Kerr go to the end here. Made the all-MASCAC team.
Leading off for the Vikings, number 5.
Those were announced yesterday. She and Katie Gilday both made it to the teams, and Kaylee Silvestri was named Rookie of the Year, although she didn't make either of the first or second teams. Still honored for her great work in the circle. First pitch is fouled off by Benusos.
Congratulations to those players. I know it's a great accomplishment for them. You know, it is a tough conference to play any sport in, and you know, kudos to them. The next pitch is in there for a ball, so the count now 1-1. Believe Kerr has another season left, Dan, if I'm correct.
That is correct. She is a junior.
Two of the better pitches or ERAs I've seen is Silvestri and Kerr so far in the season. That popped out to Brown. Brown retires. The Salem State batter is We'll see Carcanenis now up at the plate for Salem. But yeah, as I mentioned before, Dan, just two of the better ERAs I've seen on paper. You know, Kerr coming in with that 2.54 and Silvestri coming in with that 3.01.
I want to say that they're 4th and 5th in the conference. I could double check that. First pitch a strike.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth checking because I don't remember seeing many pitchers have that low of an ERA as that pitch is in there for a strike and the next pitch outside for a ball. It's counting now 1-1.
Yep. I do have it up right now. I guess it's not 5th and 6th. I mean, it looks like it's 5th and 6th. Kerr 254, Eugenio from Westfield 252, Rachel Quackenbush from MCLA at 209. That's a strike. First pitch was a swinging strike. This one a called strike.
Yep, the count now 1-2. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, it's just I don't remember seeing many on paper, and that's low in the dirt for a ball. So the count now 2-2. So yeah, congratulations on them being at least the top 5 right there for the Falcons. Falcons coming in with some very strong pitching, and that's kind of been the story most of the season.
Yep. As I look more at the numbers, Kerr's 5th, Silvestri's 9th. That's fouled off to the right side.
So count remains 2-2.
Yep. McCarthy for Bridgewater. Their ace pitcher, Kelly McCarthy, she has the best ERA with a 1.32. And then second place, I didn't mention her yet, was from Worcester State, Kayla Humphrey, their ace, with a 1.99.
Really good ERAs, really some good pitching for all the way around the conference. That pitch is high, and that will make the count full for Galen Kerr.
Yeah, I find it weird. I'm just looking at this right now, and our stat sheet said that Bernie came in with a 4.63 ERA. The MASCAC website disagrees as strike 3 is called there. Yeah. And the Falcons will take the out whatever way they can.
Strikeout number 9 for Galen Kerr.
Yeah, Bernie has a 3.41 according to the MASCAC website, but it does look like some games are missing, so that may have contributed there, but doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Bernie has been solid today. First pitch a strike to Sanchez.
So Sanchez now standing in, as Dan mentioned. Kerr with the first pitch was a strike, and that swung on and hit right back at Kerr. Kerr makes the play, and that goes down as 1-3, and that will retire Salem as we now head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Fitchburg's last chance to make some noise here and pretty much save their season. We will have Comtois, Gilday, and Yuga up at the plate for the Falcons. Kerr, Medina following them if it comes down to that. Hopefully it does, as Falcons need a few base runners here and more than a few runs.
It's 5 to tie and 6 to win. So the Falcons, if they've been saving the offense and saving the dramatics for the end, best bring it out right now, because you're not going to have, because you're going to be sitting on your bottoms for 10 months thinking about how this all went awry.
And some made, two seniors on this team, and they want to end off right. Well, 3 seniors, 2 that are not coming back.
Yeah, Yuga and Brianna Yuga and Marissa Gemma both graduating, and Tori Cyrus taking advantage of the medical red shirt that she picked up last year.
Yeah, you know what? Hell of a job from Cyrus, I will say that. Coming back, and is she set to play basketball too?
I don't know, because she did get a couple games at the end of the year. I don't know if that killed her red shirt or not.
Right.
So
we'll see what the status is on that.
Falcons,
but
number 20, Emily Comtois.
Comtois now stepping in at the plate. The catcher for the Falcons has been very, very solid all season for Fitchburg. The pitch. And that's in there for a ball. Marino trying to frame that, which we've seen a lot today, as the catcher. Marino trying to frame that pitch. He wasn't able to get the call. Comtois standing way up in the box here for the Falcons. And that swung on it, popped straight up. third baseman for Salem is able to make the catch and calls on Marino. DeColagero calling on Marino, makes the play and retires Comtois, and Fitchburg down to the last 2 outs here. Gilday hopefully get some life into the Falcons and start chipping away at this 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Falcons' last chance. And that pitch is swung on and fouled straight back at the on-deck circle.
For Gilday on the day, she is, well, she grounded out her last time up, 0 for 1 with a walk.
And the set and the pitch. In there for a ball. Marino having a tough time catching that one.
1-1 the count. I think we've said enough times what's on the line for these two teams.
That's right. That ball's in the dirt. Marino making a nice play there. Yeah, as you mentioned, Dan, Salem just sitting on that loss 5 days, those 2 losses 5 days ago. Couldn't have felt great about it, especially the way they played in that second game. Towards the end, they started to make their comebacks, as I said before, but, you know, that swung on a hit that hard down the left field line.
Left fielder came up with it pretty quickly. It holds Gilday to a single.
DeColagero just not able to get that ball as that was roped down that third base line. So we'll have a pitch hitter here. That looks like Kelsey LeBlanc, as always, coming into the game and pitch hitting for the Falcons. Pitch running for the Falcons.
Because LeBlanc's in the flex and Gilday's the DP. She can flex out with her there.
Correct. So we now see Brittany Yuga, the senior from Everett, Massachusetts, now at the plate with maybe her last opportunity here. That's low in the dirt for a ball. Count 1-0. And the pitch is in the inside corner for a strike. Yuga taking the first pitch. First strike. Counting even at 1-1 for the senior.
She would like to have many more at-bats in her career. She wouldn't like this to be her last.
Oh, and a check swing, and the umpire does say she goes. Yeah, Dad, they're going to need a lot more hitters here. So, I mean, if they could try to get something going and, you know, have some sort of miracle happen here, then she will probably get another at-bat. But she's down the count now, 1-2. And the pitch. And just outside, a bit high, it looked like. So the count now 2-2.
Came across with a lot of zip.
It's time to put your rally caps on, Dan. And the pitch is high.
Much higher than the last one. Chest level on the pitch before this one at eye level. And the count's full. Pitch number 70 coming for Alicia Burney.
Burney doing a great job here today so far with that 4. I don't remember what you said for ERA, but sitting in the 4s, she's done a great job. And the pitch. Inside for ball 4, so Yuga walks, getting another runner for the Falcons. And here comes Galen Kerr, the pitcher for Fitchburg State. Only 1 earned run today, believe it or not. 5 runs on the board for the Vikings.
And Kerr on the day is 0 for 2 at the plate, struck out and grounded out. But as we mentioned her line today, I'll get that up in a moment. But 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts.
So not the worst day on the mound, just, again, defensive woos for Fitchburg, which we don't, it's kind of uncharacteristic by the Falcons. You don't see that a lot.
Now at bat, number 7, Galen Kerr.
Galen Kerr. See if she can get something going for the Falcons if she's way up in the box here. Medina on deck. As I mentioned before, she was the one that got it really going for the Falcons last time they played. That's hit hard into right field, and it gets by the right fielder. Here comes LeBlanc. LeBlanc is going to score, but Kerr is thrown out at second as she tried to be a little greedy there, and she will get thrown out. So now 2 outs for Salem. 1 run does score for Fitchburg. Maddie Medina now stepping to the plate. So instead of having runners on the corners, 1 out and a runner scored. There's now 2 outs as Kerr may have thought that they were going to throw home there, and she tries for second and is thrown out by Salem. First pitch to Medina is in the dirt for a ball. Great block by Marino. There was a chance that Yuga may have scored on that.
Yeah, because Kerr got thrown
Yuga now at third. After that, RBI base hit for Kerr, but is thrown out at second.
Yeah.
The pitch to Medina. In the dirt again. Here comes Yuga as that gets to the backstop, and Yuga's going to score standing.
5-2.
So Fitchburg chipping away here at this lead. It is now 5-2 Salem State.
I'd like to point out in all the excitement, I don't know what the count is.
I believe it is 2-0. Because I lost it too, to be honest with you. Yep, 2-0. And the pitcher swung on and hit down third base line. Foul. DeCalagero kills it. So the count now 2-1 for Medina. Still ahead in the count here. See if she can find a pitch. At least get on base. So the bottom of the order is up for the Falcons. LeBlanc on deck, followed by Cyrus. And that's very well short of the plate. It goes in for ball 3. So count now 3-1. Hitters count for Medina, the shortstop, the freshman shortstop for the Vikings, has been very, very solid all season.
In case it mattered, nobody's warming up in the bullpen for Salem State, so it is Bernie's game.
Bernie is set to finish this one out, and she will try here as she's got a 3-1 count with 2 outs, and that was a big key play to throw out Kerr at second. Not so sure why she might have gone. She was thrown out by a lot on that. That ball is fouled straight over the backstop.
I think on that play, she saw the bobble, and she might have thought maybe it had gotten by the right fielder, but instead she just bobbled the ball. And so by the time she made the throw over, Kerr she's about halfway to second base. She was out by a mile.
Yeah.
Misread out there.
I also think she might have thought that they may have gone home with that ball. And that swung on and hit to the shortstop, Sanchez. Sanchez on one knee makes the play. A sliding from Medina, and she's safe. The first baseman was off the base. The umpire says she lifted her foot up as she went jumping up over the sliding Medina head first into first base. So Sanchez with the great play coming to a knee, making the play, firing over to first, but is unable to make the play.
Yep. That was a throw. There's a wild throw from the shortstop, and it lifted the first baseman off the bag. She's able to pull it down, but not with her foot on the bag, and so Medina sliding underneath. That first slide was safe.
I think they're talking about the slide to see if she had to jump up because of the slide, but we'll see what the umpires decide here. Seems to be the conversation. If she is safe, they do rule her safe, the first base umpire. 3-man crew here today.
It's funny, I've only just noticed that.
Yeah, me too, to be honest with you, Dan. You don't see that a lot. Usually in softball you have at least two-man crew. Baseball is usually 3 with the bigger game. We'll see what baseball did here today for a playoff game. Usually it's 4 for a playoff game.
Yeah. I mean, the number of umpires, it all varies by conference and the like, but for regular games, it's usually just 2 umpires for both sports.
Correct. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That ball's hit to Sanchez again. Sanchez going over to 2, and that will end the game. Salem winning this one 5-2 over the Falcons in this playoff matchup this first round. Really tough loss here for the Falcons is Sanchez was able to make that throw 2-second. A nice play, nice decision from her. So really, really tough loss. Fitchburg being the higher seed, especially taking 2 just 5 days ago. But Salem has a little bit of revenge in the one that matters and takes this opening round matchup as they will play Worcester, I believe, in Worcester, if I am correct, Dan.
I believe that is correct. That will be tomorrow at, actually, we've got the schedule right in front of us. That will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Good.
So the winner of this game does get...
Final score, Salem 5, Fitchburg 2.
So again, the final here, Fitchburg, Salem State Vikings 5 and your Fitchburg State Falcons 2 is this first round matchup ends for a win for the Vikings. And, you know, just the story, as mentioned again, it's just those errors, only 1 earned run for Kerr. And if things had gone the right way, you might have a 2-1 win for the Falcons if you could just clean up those errors. But again, that doesn't seem to be the case, whether the weather played troubles here for the Falcons or whether it's just nerves. It does end in a 5-2 loss. What are your thoughts on that, Dan?
Oh, sorry, I was spacing there, but yeah, but the errors definitely made a difference. You know, 5 errors in the contest, and that led to 4 unearned runs in the end in the grand scheme of things. And so it was a bit uncharacteristic. You know, the weather wasn't great, and they just weren't able to play to the weather as well as they would have liked. And so that really, at the end of the day, the Falcons let this game go by the wayside, and they don't get it tomorrow. Their season comes to an end with a record of 19 wins and 18 losses.
And congratulations for the seniors for Fitchburg and everybody that made all conference. And it was it's just a tough way to go out, and that's just the way it is. So again here, a thank you from the FSN Network. Thank you to Dan Bulak for commentating with me, Amy Kelly. And again, Fitchburg loses this first round matchup to Salem State 5-2. And though it is a sad day for the Falcons, they will come back strong next season. And stay tuned to any future games on the Falcon Sports Network. Again, my name is Matt Carroll, joined here by Amy Kelly and Daniel Bulak. Bulak, thank you. And again, we are signing off, so go Falcons.